Good evening. I'm Emily Flores.
And I'm Glenn Mills. Thanks so much for joining us. We do begin with breaking news tonight on Utah's abortion law. Utah's 3rd District Court making a decision in the last hour in a lawsuit between Planned Parenthood and the state of Utah.
Granting a preliminary injunction to block the recently passed HB 467 from going into effect. The law would have stopped abortion clinics from getting licenses on May 3rd and phased out existing ones by next year. This means licensed abortion clinics can operate as normal as a case makes its way through the court.
Now to our flood watch coverage. This is a look at the Weber River this afternoon. You can see the water just running high and flowing fast.
Yes, it has. Continues to do so, making it an area of concern. Again, this is one of the several points across the state that state leaders have installed cameras to track flood risk in real time. So we are going to be bringing you team coverage following flooding across the state. ABC4 meteorologist Nate Larson is live in Ogden Canyon with the latest in the road closure there. And Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy is standing by with the weather forecast.
But first, ABC4 Northern Utah correspondent Cade Gardner is in Uinta following the rescue team searching for the woman who went missing, presumably in the Weber River yesterday. So, Cade, what do those efforts look like today?
Glenn, well, behind me and off screen for you guys is the Weber County Mobile Command Unit, which is stationed here because they believe that woman fell in the river just upstream from here. Now, since yesterday, they've had crews stationed at checkpoints from here downstream through Marriott-Slaterville. And this afternoon, they've had divers using rafts on the river to check areas that are heavy with debris, because those areas could potentially be areas where a person could get caught up under the water. Day 2 of search and rescue efforts are underway along the Weber River.
I can't tell you what circumstance leads to us to stop searching.
Weber County officials say multiple 911 calls came in just after 5:40 last night about a person in the water screaming.
That's going to be up to the search and rescue commander when they decide that all options have been exhausted.
They say there was also a report of a missing woman in her 20s. First responders from across the county immediately reporting to their designated checkpoint along the river.
We want the closest unit to respond to the closest checkpoint. Because the potential victim is floating so fast down the river, we need to have as much eyes on the river as possible.
There's a lot of points, a lot of bridges, a lot of access areas, a lot of problem areas where people could get hung up. So we have those points where we can pick out a person if we need to.
Both the Ogden and Weber River have dozens of designated checkpoints for instances like this one.
During those checkpoints, we have crews walking up and down each side of the bank, either river right or river left, looking for the victim.
In this case, 20 different checkpoints. Officials say this depletes the county's first response resources by at least half.
We take it very serious, and as for the public, I wouldn't go near the river at all. As responders, when we're responding to these type of events, we're not allowed to get within 15 feet of the riverbank without a personal flotation device on.
Now, just to emphasize that point of not coming near the river, the Weber County officials are asking the public to stay away, especially from the checkpoints, the command center, the checkpoints throughout the river, because of two things. One, it makes their job harder, and two, it increases the chances of someone else falling into the river and becoming a victim of this fast, swift-moving water. Now, we'll continue to monitor the situation and keep you updated both on air and online. Reporting live from Uinta, Cade Gardner, ABC4 News.
All right, Cade, we appreciate your coverage there. Well, a mudslide down Little Cottonwood Canyon and is now covering the road. Here's a look at the scene, a live look. This is about 7 miles up the canyon. As you see, there's a lot of debris in the road there. Mud, rock, even running water there have made it impassable. The canyon is closed. There's no word on when they plan to reopen it there. UDOT is working to clear it. The canyon had already been closed for avalanche mitigation today.
And it's a good thing it was already closed, because that could have been a disaster. That was a huge slide right there. Just another consequence of this record winter we're seeing.
Alana.
Record winter paired with record warmth. That's not a good combination. And UDOT saying this evening that slide 100 feet wide, so a very large one with a lot of wooded debris in the middle of it. We also are seeing debris in our rivers where we've got several warnings in place. Those flood warnings holding steady. Now, some areas have changed their status. As we take a look, you're going to notice that we've got some flood watches, and that does include the lower Weber River. As we zoom in, we've got the Little Bear River near Paradise, Garden City, the Ogden River, and Immigration Creek still under flood warnings and will be for the next couple of days. Flood watch in Cache Valley just beneath Hiram Reservoir, as well as the Weber River over in Weber County. We also have Thistle Creek with a flood advisory and Sevier River underneath a warning there near Hatch. So several different waterways running really high and fast, but we've got warm temperatures. Here are a couple other spots that we're keeping an eye on. That includes Spanish Fork, Cameron, and Chalk Creek near Colville. So these areas near the action stage, and as we get through the next couple of days, eventually stepping back. This is the view of Ensign Peak showing Salt Lake County with that sunshine. High pressure still running the show here. Quiet conditions, a few clouds out there with that southerly flow on the way. Let's take a look at our temperatures because it's another above average day. 81 degrees in Salt Lake City, 67 is typically our average high. We are warmer than St. George, Cache Valley in the 70s. Now, the temperature trend starts to change. We slope down and get closer to average, but with the record warmth for the last several days, we have accelerated runoff and we have accelerated snowmelt, especially up near the Ogden River. That's where we find our very own Nate Larson out live. Nate, how's it looking up there? Lots of closures.
Yeah, we have had intermittent closures throughout the day, Alana. Right now, traffic is moving behind me, but it does stall just up the road. I'm actually about a mile up the canyon, from the mouth of it at least, where we have the iconic waterfall. There are crew currently working just behind me, past the bend where you can't see, on some of the debris that's been clogging a culvert from Coldwater Canyon, which is just upstream from me as well. And that's what's causing a lot of the delays, is that culvert was clogged earlier today, and it was forcing water to spill out over the roadway. Now, UDOT estimates that there was about 8 inches of standing water on the road when they decided to close the canyon this morning. It was closed in both directions. The closure allowed crews to get the right equipment to the problem area and clear out those rocks and debris that was clogging the drainage system. So the culvert's on the south side of the road, and was again pushing water over the road back into the Ogden River. UDOT crews were able to reopen the road earlier this morning. They've been able to monitor the culvert throughout the day today as well.
The water is so forceful right now, and it's bringing down with it all sorts of debris, rocks, logs, and branches, those type of things that are just, clogging it up, and it really doesn't leave anywhere for the water to go but over the road.
So for the most part, drivers have had a pretty optimal experience coming up and down the canyon, even with some of the work that they're doing intermittently throughout the afternoon. Right now, it looks like traffic's moving again along pretty nicely here in Ogden Canyon. But of course, we'll continue to keep you updated. Live in Ogden Canyon, I'm meteorologist Nate Larson. Back to you.
All right, we thank you, Nate. Well, as our spring warm sends more snowmelt, flooding down into the valley. We, of course, are going to continue to monitor the flood dangers here at ABC4. Stick with us for the very latest on conditions so that you can be ready when the rivers rise.
A soldier from North Logan killed with 2 others last week after 2 U.S. helicopters crashed mid-flight on their way back to base from a training mission. 32-year-old Stuart Dwayne Wayment, serving some time in the National Guard, but later transitioning over to the active Army to help provide for his wife and 3 sons. Friends and family of Wayment say his kind spirit, love for his family, his patriotism, and gentle heart will be missed by all who knew him.
I mean, he cared about everyone. He was a family man, and he really enjoyed serving this country. He would be that kind of person who would, help any family in need.
There's a GoFundMe set up to help his wife provide for their children. If you're interested in donating, you can find a link by visiting our website, abc4.com.
And in an update this evening, Salt Lake City police arrested the suspect they believe shot 2 people at a park near the Glendale Golf Course in Salt Lake City yesterday. Police say someone on a bike came up to the parking lot of the 17th South River Park and started shooting into a crowd of people on a soccer field. Well, police found 1 person shot in critical condition and later found a second victim had run from the scene and collapsed in a field by the golf course. They were in serious condition. Salt Lake City police say they will give more details about the arrest later this evening, but they say they're still looking for a motive.
In a health alert tonight, the White House ending its COVID-19 requirements for international travelers beginning next week. That move coinciding with the end of the country's public health emergency. The new guidelines start next Thursday, though this move might not actually change all that much. Last week, the CDC announcing international travelers with 1 vaccine dose would be okay to travel. Over a year ago, federal courts blocking the vaccine mandate to federal workers. Yesterday, the White House noting COVID-19 deaths have declined by 95% since January of 2021. All right, still ahead, fearlessly fighting fires, how several Utah firefighters developed the courage to run into a burning building. That's tonight's Behind the Badge.
And this is just stunning. This is where we live, folks. State Capitol view this morning, caught by Scott Taylor. Cherry blossoms in bloom. Mix of sun and clouds. Gorgeous. Above average warmth is here. How long it sticks around coming up in your forecast.